Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna do what we did yesterday, and we're gonna start putting things into action. So we're gonna do a role play session. So in a second, you're gonna see the TGP team. Again, they're gonna be all set up. They're gonna actually walk through some of the approaches with you. And then if we have time like we did yesterday, we'll do some Q&A as well at the end of that. And so if you don't remember from yesterday, the TGP team sold just under 4 million as a team last year. And they're going to be rolling through this stuff. And as they do that, here are my suggestions for you. Take notes, of course. Write down any questions you have, of course. You can still post those in the Q&A later. But also pay attention to how they present things, right? The tone, the inflection, the sequence of things, like how they're saying it. Try to listen to the music, not just the words, right? Because that's going to make a huge difference. And then when this is all said and done, by the way, go and role play it on your own. Role play it to yourself in a mirror. Role play it with your events team together. Just get some role playing in, because the more you verbalize it, even if you're not in front of a customer, the better you're going to get. I was lucky enough to be invited to the TGP State Fair training meeting earlier in the year, like 2021. And so I got to watch them work and plan for the meeting. And they did sessions where they all just broke into teams of 2 or 3, and they just role played their approaches. Like, it's something that they focus on, make sure that it becomes muscle memory. Like Curtis just said too, get out there and do it and strategize it, do it every time so that it becomes the thing that you do every time. So I'm going to turn it. Before we do that, really quick, before we start the role play, a couple of quick announcements I want to make sure that you hear now so that you don't miss them at the end. One is that the intention is to get any handouts we have from this event out by the end of this week. I know that some were sent out today. If anything else comes up, you'll likely see those by the end of the week. The intention is also to get the videos of this edited and linked out to you guys by next week. Now, there's a lot going on at the events team, and that's their goal. So we're not going to hold it against them if it's a little bit late, but their intention is to get those out to you next week, of course. And then also be on the lookout for a survey. If you have any opinions on how this stuff goes, if you're sitting there right now being like, oh man, it could be even better if we did this, or they did that, or I loved this part, we should do that again. If you have any opinion at all, you have to put it in a survey. We're never gonna know your opinion unless you give it to us in a survey. So when the events team sends you that survey link, go in and take the survey and give us your feedback, because that's how we can continue and improve this and make sure that we're taking everybody's opinions into account, is by answering that survey. And then last thing, and I said this yesterday, but I'm gonna say it again, put it in your calendar, 2/15. So February 15th at, I believe it was 1 p.m. Eastern time. Don't actually have that right in front of me. I think that's right. 1 to 2:30. You'll see an email come out about it. Just put it in your calendar right now. That's going to be the NET Q&A follow-up. So most of the speakers that were on NET will be on that call so that you can go and implement the stuff they're teaching you, come back and ask even better follow-up questions afterwards. So once you've done some implementation, or at least role playing and that sort of stuff. So make sure that's in your calendar. Now I'm going to turn it over and they're going to start the role play.
Fantastic. Amy, can you hear us okay? Perfect. Well, guys, welcome back to beautiful Dallas, Texas. I say beautiful, it's cold and cloudy, but definitely a big part of our community, big part of our culture is just always refining our skills, drill for skill. There's never a time that you've arrived. We should always be working on continuing to improve. So role playing is a big part of that. So for today, we're going to mix it up a little bit. By request, we're going to have Josh Muller get a chance to go through his flatware script. So it's great when you can hear people teach the concepts, but it's also really helpful, I find, just to have it done extremely well to where you can go back and reference it. And I think this will be a cool thing to get out to the community. So Josh is going to do flatware, maybe a couple flatware objections. And then after that, we're going to do a round robin session answering some objections. So we're going to pull from some of the awesome TGP people and our friends that are here with us, and we'll just kind of slide them behind the booth. We'll answer an objection or two, and we'll just see how many we get through time permitting. So that being said, I'll turn it over to Mr. Josh Muller, and he's going to get a chance to cover some flatware.
Great. Brian, do you mind playing my customer for me?
Certainly.
Fantastic. So while Brian's coming up as a customer, there's a couple different ways that I'll lead into flatware. Sometimes it's as an upserve, like what Matt talked about in his message. Sometimes it's somebody who's coming up, they already have a complete knife set, or they're happy, they feel like they have all the knives they need, they may already have cookware, whatever, they're not interested in cookware, something like that. And so I'm going to do a couple different lead-ins just so you know kind of how I get into it, whether it's we're starting with flatware or we're going to flatware as an upserve, and then I'll just role play through the approach. And I think even if I know Brian well enough, he likes to throw objections my way, so I'm not going to be surprised if he'll throw something out there too. So you get to hear some of that. So when I lead into flatware, let's say it's someone coming up, it's a past customer or it's a Cutco owner, it's very clear that they already have a full set. They're happy with that. So where do I want to go? I want to go to every package, every client, every time. So I'm going to try to go through flatware, cookware, accessory items, and then the gifting programs, family program, business gift program. It's that simple, right? When it comes to flatware, I say that. So, hey, I'm just curious while you're here, I'm just curious, like, what's your flatware situation like at home? And then sit back and listen, right? I think Matt, that's what he shared today is kind of his lead in line even for upserving. Then if it's an upserve, like especially if it's a past customer or I've got a really good rapport with them, I actually like to go a little bit more direct with them. And I actually learned this from Calvin Lopez. Thank you, Calvin. Calvin's very direct, one of the most direct salespeople I've ever met. And so Calvin, I just like to say this, much more direct, more of an upserve. So, hey, I'm just curious, like, when are we going to get you your flatware set? And I just kind of smile and I just kind of hang back and read their reaction to that, right? And people usually come out and what they say is just anything that's on their mind when it comes to forks and spoons. That's basically it, right? So they'll tell you their story, they'll share their objections almost right out the gates. There's a lot of different ways it can go, but ultimately, I don't care what the customer says. I want them to know about Cutco flatware. So if they love their flatware, if they hate their flatware, if they have a mix match set, if they love antique stuff, I don't care. If they love the gold plated crap, I don't care. I hear them out, let them express themselves. And then I just go, cool. Hey, while you're here, I want to take a quick minute just to show you about Cutco flatware. If they give me the impression that they're all good on their flatware, then I frame it towards, I want to show you the Cutco flatware. So if and when you get to the point where you're ready to upgrade the flatware you have at home, you at least know about us and why you would want to consider us as an option. Sound good? Cool. Okay, you can tell me whether or not we want to put it on the wish list for later or not. Or if it's something that you might be interested in today, let me know that too. I'll be happy to share with you our package pricing that we're doing exclusively here for the event. So that's kind of the framing and the lead in, right? And then it's basically just the flatware approach. So, so they're like, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Great. So just so you know a little bit about it, like there's lots of different flatware you can buy. Cutco's been around for years. And what I love about this is that we're one of the last high-end flatware companies that's all American made. So check this out, like take a feel on this. You can feel they're super heavy duty, but they're also really lightweight at the same time. So it doesn't feel like you're doing reps at the gym every time you take a bite, but also they're not going to bend or break or anything like that. What I love about it is it's really good quality. You can tell that it's got the Cutco look. It's also got the same forever guarantee as Cutco. And it's really nice because it's something that literally you'll buy one time, have the rest of your life. Okay. And what's great about our flatware, not only is it American made, but you can tell the quality is there. And what's really nice about it is that this is something that you can pass on through generations, right? So I really like the flatware. Mainly here, check out the knife, by the way. By the way, that's actually your butter knife and also your steak knife. So here, go ahead and give that leather a cut too. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, here, do it again. Yeah, here, let's pass it around really quick. Everybody can go ahead and try it. So, and that's actually 4 layers of leather right there, and it cuts exactly the same. I love doing that because it gives them that wow demo right off the gates, and it tells them this is not just a butter knife that they're used to. This is a really high quality butter / steak knife. So, so what's great about the flatware, super high quality. It's got that really great look. A couple things I really like about it. So, like, have you ever run, a spoon or a fork in the garbage disposal?
Oh my God, my kids do it all the time.
Okay, great. If that happens with your Cutco, like say once or twice, no problem. Just send it back, and they'll actually fix or replace it for you. And yeah, and then I'm just curious, have you ever like lost a piece over the years, and then you go to try to find replacements, only to find out that they discontinued your pattern?
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge at this point.
Right, and it's kind of frustrating, isn't it? So now you know why companies do that, don't you?
I guess maybe buy a new set.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And that's the thing I love most about Cutco is that our philosophy has always been one and done. So like we have one pattern, we don't change it. And so that way, if you lose a spoon, say 10, 15, 20 years from now, that's okay. You can call us and actually order one spoon and it will always match the pattern that you have at home because we don't have different patterns. So, and people really like that because, our philosophy has always been one and done. We want you to buy it once and never have to buy it again. Right now, and then of course, it's good quality knives. You get your forks, your spoons, and everything there. So it's everything that you'd ever need for the rest of your life. So hey, I'm just curious. Like, do you ever like when you're entertaining like certain times of the year, you have family over, you do family meals, things like that. Usually, do you ever need like 24 or 36 place settings or even more than that?
Yeah, around the holidays, we probably have 17, 18 people around.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're kind of like me. So it's like you either need 2 or you need like 24, right? Yeah. So it's kind of what I really love about this is that we sell it in packages of you can do 12, 24, 36, really however many you feel you need for your family. And we can do anything in between as well. So so I'd be happy to show you like the special pricing that we're doing on it if you want to take a look at it while you're here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So so normally like if you shop around for flatware, you'll notice that like really high quality stuff, you have to go to Williams-Sonoma Pottery Barn, places like that. You're always going to find that it's made in like Italy, France, Germany, places like that. What people really love about the Cutco flatware, just like the Cutco knives, is since it's made here in the United States, right? And we don't sell it in stores, we're able to give you higher quality plus a better warranty than anyone else out there, and not charge you the same level of pricing as everybody else. So yeah, so it really makes sense. So normally when you buy a full set, this is 60 pieces, it's this much money. Blank, like it's normally blank, and I give them the retail value of the set. But the great thing is that when you're getting it here at the show, because we're here and this is the biggest event that we do of this type in this area, right? We actually have our best package pricing that we brought here. I literally have customers who wait all year long to come to this event to get their flatware checked off their wish list because they know this is where they're going to get the best deal on it. So so let me show you the special price. I'll pull out my binder, right? And you'll notice actually when you do it here, you mentioned that you need 24 place settings, right?
Probably.
So if you were to do it, right? So when you get 24 place settings, it's normally this much, but actually we have it on special right now where for our package price, you get it for only this much. So you actually save over this much. Now, the best part about that is that since you're a Cutco owner, right, we know you're good for the money, and you know we're very loyal to our customers. So what we let you do is you actually only spend this much now, right? And then we send you the flatware right away. You get it in a couple weeks. And then the great thing is you get to try it out for 30 days. And if you decide you don't like it, no problem, send it back and we just give you that money back. Of course, that never happens because like, you know, everybody loves their Cutco, right? So when you keep it, which is what everybody usually does, we actually just charge you 4 more payments of that exact same amount. So, and then what you're getting is you're getting 24 place settings of the big spoons and the little spoons, the big forks and the little forks. Plus you're getting 24 of those awesome knives, which normally by themselves, those 24 knives are this much, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can see how like when you buy it as a package, it's a much better to bundle it all together and do it as a package like that. So, and then you also get the chests to store everything as well. Plus we're doing shipping included with that price as well too. So,
wow.
So I mean, just to be, you know, totally direct with you, I know you probably weren't planning on getting forks and spoons, but if you see yourself eventually getting new forks and spoons anyways, and this is a pattern and a style that you like and appreciate and you think you'd use, then I would highly recommend going ahead and investing in the Cutco flatware while you're here today, so that you can get it checked off the list and so you can take advantage of that amazing package price that we're doing. I mean, I've been doing this 20 years. I've never seen Cutco do a discount as big as this before. Frankly, I don't even know sometimes how they're making money on it. So what do you think? Is that something that you'd see yourself using if you had it?
Yeah, man, if we had it, I think we definitely use it.
Okay.
I think probably it's just my kids, man. My kids, they lose stuff. I feel like my family would throw it away. They wouldn't understand how nice it is. That's kind of the hard part.
Yeah, I totally get it. So tell me more about that. Like, is it just that, you know, the kids, they just disrespected, or?
I think sometimes they're just careless, I guess. They probably don't even know. I mean, I don't think everyone in my house knows what we even paid for all the Cutco.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And so, and the flatware that you currently have at home right now, like, is it really nice stuff, or is it something that you just kind of went to and got at a cheap store? Or?
Yeah, I think we got nice stuff when we first got married like 13 years ago, and then we just lost pieces and replaced them with cheap stuff. So it's a hodgepodge. We definitely need something.
Okay, gotcha. Well, hey, it totally makes sense why you might feel that way based on what you're telling me. You know, you don't want your kids obviously throwing away your good stuff, right? And what I've found is when you have stuff that's like old, I'm sure you'd agree that, you know, you care less about it at that point.
Yeah.
And then when you start replacing it with cheap stuff, you also care less about that as well because it's cheap. But do you have anything else in your house that's really nice that you take really good care of that the kids know not to mess around with?
Furniture, cars, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, okay, great. So I'm sure you'd agree then if that works for your kids on those things, you could probably do the same thing with this, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you see yourself eventually investing in new flatware down the road?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Can I be really direct with you, Brian?
Sure.
Okay, so by the way, I don't mind if you wait. In fact, Cutco would prefer that you wait as well. Because honestly, if you wait till, you know, 5 or 10 years when the kids are all grown up and gone, it's just going to be more expensive. You know, you've seen the prices go up every couple of years, right? And so, and I have no clue how long this package price is going to last. In fact, they've already signaled to us that they're going to start easing that price back to a normal retail price.
Oh, wow.
So I know that that special will be going away at some point in the near future. I just can't say when, because you know, it's how specials work.
Right.
But if you see yourself eventually getting it anyways, and you can swing it in the budget now, and you think that like any other high quality stuff that you get, you can teach your children how to respect it the same way. Even if you didn't use it right away, I would recommend getting it now, just so you can take advantage of that special. Because I mean, if you wait, cool, it's great for me. I'll make more money. Cutco will make a lot more money as well. And then you'll still end up with the flatware that you're planning on getting anyways. So.
What the hell, we'll take it.
All right, high five, man. Welcome to the flatware family. Congratulations.
I love
You got any more objections?
it. You know, I'm used to heavier flatware.
Yeah, totally. It makes sense.
I think my spouse would like it heavier.
You think so? Okay, gotcha. And is that because she says she loves heavy stuff, or is that just because you're used to using heavy stuff?
You know, I don't know. I guess that's just what we're used to.
Really?
I think
Okay.
I think she thinks the heavy stuff is probably just means it's good quality, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So, well, just so you know why we don't make it heavy, I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but you know, a lot of times what we found, people tell us, our customers tell us, is that when they have the really heavy handles and you set a fork on a plate, a lot of times it'll slide down into the food. Or you set a spoon into a bowl and it'll tip backwards and fall out of the bowl, right? Or tip the bowl over if the bowl's empty, right? So what we did is we focused on balance. So what you have here is you have super high quality that's heavy duty enough, you can't just like bend it or break it. I mean, I'm sure if I put this over my knee and did this, I could bend it, right? But of course it's guaranteed. So what do you think we do with it?
I'm guessing you replace it.
Yeah, you just send it back and we'll replace it for you if you bend it like that, right? But obviously you're not going to do that. So, but then we also made it very lightweight in the handle, so it has that balance, so you don't get things sliding into your foods and falling out of your foods and stuff like that. So, so I'm just curious, like knowing what your night wife knows about the Cutco you guys already have and how much she loves it. Do you think if you got her a flatware set too and brought it home, that she'd be just as impressed as she is with all the rest of her Cutco?
Yeah, she's never complained about Cutco, that's for sure.
Awesome. So it is definitely going to be a little bit getting used to and like not having the heavy, but I think you guys would actually like it better based on what you're telling me. So, and remember, you've always got that 30-day money back guarantee too that you can take advantage of. So it's totally risk free. So what do you think? You want to go ahead and try it out, see if you like it?
What the hell, let's try it.
All right, man. High five. Welcome to the Cutco family, Brian. Congratulations. So
you answered so many objections throughout the script. There's so many objections I was prepared to give that you already kind of had covered. So
yeah. So I think that's what's great about the approach. Pre-handle as much as you possibly can. Expect that they're going to come. Pre-handle them when you can. So who's next?
That's fantastic. All right. Well, I will slide back there then. Damn, that's fire. You gotta love when you watch someone, and I know it's true of so many of the masters in our business, but when you watch someone that just, they're so on top of it, just their script knowledge and their product conviction, their enthusiasm, it's just there. And it's such a cool thing to see because it really does. It handles so many of the objections that I think a lot of us traditionally get within our scripts. So that is an exciting thing. Well, guys, probably my favorite thing that we get a chance to do every once in a while in TGP is our objection masterclass. And the goal behind this, just to be clear, you know, there's never a time you should stop working on objections. And the goal with this is not to have the definitive, absolute best answer to anything that'll ever come up, but rather just to have a competent answer that you can confidently put out there to really help customers get to that place of feeling comfortable making a purchasing decision. We all know that a lot of objections are smokescreen objections. So sometimes the answer is just sort of clarifying and trying to get back to what is really holding them back from making a decision today. But we want to run through a couple of the more common ones and maybe even a few uncommon ones since we got such a great group of people here, that's for sure. So what I'm going to ask for our TGP people, y'all have the order we're going to go in. If the next 2-3 people want to just slide in here, that it'll be a little bit easier as we switch around and we'll go from there. So I'm going to take the first one because someone on the team asked me this here just the other day. They were working at our stock show and the customer said, oh, you know what? I really want to get a chance to research. Okay. Which is kind of another way of saying think about it. But I'll go ahead and start by just tackling that one. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I totally understand it's a big purchase and that makes perfect sense that you want to take a little bit of time and just make sure you're making a good buy. But I'll just say for most of my customers, again, I've been here about 19 years now, most of the customers I work with, when they say that they need to research, they're really just trying to make sure, is this something that customers really like? Like once customers get it, is it something that's well rated that they really, really enjoy? And then also, is it a really fair deal? You know, those who, I think you'd probably agree with me, that's usually what people are kind of looking for. So the great news is, you know, this is what I do. I serve families and try to hook them up with great stuff. And so we've really done a lot of the research for you. So just to show you two things here real quick, you know, this is actually a price comparison from Williams Sonoma. And I'm sure you've been there. They've got them at South Lake Town Square, North Park, and the Galleria. But this is where you would go to get good knives, because now you know what you're missing out on. If you didn't buy Cutco, you would probably go get the German or Japanese knives. And you know what's crazy is for a set the size of our homemaker set of the German knives, you're going to pay over $2,000 for that. And for the Japanese knives, it's even more. It's closer to $2,800. So the reality is, it's just like getting a new phone. It's just like getting good tools. You're going to have to invest the money to get good stuff. And again, now you kind of know what you're missing out on. But I think the more important thing is what do customers really have to say. And by the way, I've got that right here too. This is my happy customer list. And gosh, I wish you'd gotten here just a few minutes ago. This last lady I was talking to, she bought her Cutco in 1969. And it's so crazy. She's only had it sharpened 2 times. This one bought it in 73, and we just set her up to come to our service event after the fair. We're going to do her free servicing. Anna bought it in 1952. And what's great is I've got page after page after page after page after page of these. And so, in fact, I think my favorite yesterday was Carol. God bless her. This woman nearly knocked 3 teenagers over with her rascal scooter, but she has had it 57 years. And if you see on here with me, bought it at age 21, going strong at 78. So, Mrs. Jones, that's why you buy American, so we can take care of it. So, hey, I tell you what, since you're here anyway, why don't I take one last crack? Let me see if I can just supercharge that deal for you and see if it's something you feel great about. And then you just pivot out of it. So that's basically it. We did the research for you. So that being said, let's go ahead and turn it over to our next person, Matt Foss. Come on up, Foss.
Sweet. You want to be my customer?
Yeah, I can be your customer. Why not? All right. So yeah, Matt, I think this is great. We just probably need to think about it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I definitely want you guys to walk around and think about it, digest it a little bit. Is it okay if I just jot this down for you really quick?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. You guys come to the show here looking for anything in particular, or just kind of browsing around, by the way?
Just kind of looking to see what we find.
Awesome. Nice. You guys are gonna have a ton of fun here. There's a ton to see. So, hey, now just out of curiosity, by the way, Brian, like this set here that we're looking at, the full set, would that be the right set for you guys if you were to do anything, or would you want to look at something, you know, larger or smaller?
No, we grill a lot, so I think that one you showed us is probably the right set for us.
Okay, awesome. And then as far as the handle color on the knives go, would you guys want more of like the classic handles or more of like the pearl handles?
Oh man, she really loves that white.
Yeah, that does look really nice, right? And then for the block, would you want more like the honey or like more of the cherry finish?
I think that dark block looks pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, so that's what your block would look like right there.
Wow.
That'll look nice on the counter, right?
Yeah.
So cool. And then just out of curiosity too, when it comes to the set, would you guys want to pay it once, or would you want to like split it up over the charges, like the easy pay that we do?
I think we'd probably need to do the 5 months. Kind of may as well.
Yeah, cool. And just so I know too, so I can help you out, like I want you guys to be comfortable with what you're spending. Like, is it one of those things where like, if you guys did it, would that fit okay in the budget, or would that be pushing the envelope just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we can swing it if we really wanted to.
Okay, awesome. So, and by the way, I know you guys didn't wake up this morning and say, hey, let's go spend $3,000 on knives. Most of my customers don't. My life would be a lot easier if people did, right? So at the end of the day, I always ask you before you take off, like scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, you know, don't get your hopes up, Matt, probably never going to see you again. 10 being like, all right, let's just knock it out. I'll pull the credit card out. Let's do it. Where would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, we're probably an 8. I really do like this.
Probably at an 8. Yeah. And I know you said your mom's had them for a long time. You guys really like them. So I figured you were close. And again, I know you guys didn't wake up saying, hey, let's go spend $3,000 on knives, but I can tell you really like them. I know you guys are going to use them because you barbecue and stuff like that. And it sounds like it would fit okay into the budget for you. So I'll ask you really quick before you take off, like if I could do something just a little extra special for you to sweeten the deal, would it be something you'd be open to knocking out while you're here today?
Yeah, how special are we talking?
All right, well, pretty special. All I ask is stay loyal to your Cutco guy. If you ever need anything in the future, call me. I'll hook you up. So one of the things that's kind of sneaky, nobody talks about, is cutting boards. You never want to cut on granite, glass, Corian countertop. Those all your knives out like 10 times faster. Softer plastic's going to be like the best thing for them. These actually have juice catchers on the side, rubber pegs on the bottom. And Cutco hates me telling you this, but if you ship them back, they probably replace them for you for free, which is kind of nice.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we also have a sharpener that's really good for your straight edges. You can run those right through 8 to 12 swipes. You'll be good to go. And then kitchen gadgets are also one of those sneaky things. Like everybody gets sick of the drawer full of gadgets that you have to like kind of like, you know, you got 12 ice cream scoops, couple peelers, whatever. If 3 of these gadgets were to magically fall into your kitchen, which ones do you think you would get the most use out of, or do you like the best?
And the ice cream scoop, the wine opener, and the pizza cutter.
Ice cream scoop, wine opener, pizza cutter. Okay, awesome. Good choice. So here's what I'll do for you. If you're open to knocking it out today, I'm going to make sure that those 3 cutting boards and the sharpener are going to be included for you. Plus, I'll actually buy you those kitchen gadgets on top of it. So at the end of the day, again, it sounds like you like the set. Sounds like you're going to use it. Sounds like you could fit in the budget. Okay, I'll get you an awesome deal. And, as I said before, you want to split that up over the charges. It'd just be the $610 plus tax day, and then you guys are taken care of. So, and again, I'll be your knife guy. So anything you need down the road, you just contact me and I'll take good care of you. So what do you think? Gonna hook it up for you?
Let's freaking do it.
Awesome. Sweet.
I love it. I love it. We would applaud, except, it's virtual. All right, let's send it over to Chelsea. We've got Chelsea Rodriguez and oh my God, the legend. All right. So man, Chelsea, this stuff is amazing. I really think I gotta wait and talk to my spouse, but I think we'll for sure want to call you back and get this at some point.
Hey, no problem. I actually appreciate that. Thanks for the honesty, Brian. So it sounds like you just really, really need to talk to your wife before you make this kind of decision, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Hey, thanks for giving me that feedback. I appreciate it. By the way, just so you know, Brian, I appreciate you standing here all this time, cutting up with me. Get what I said?
I see what you did
I
there.
appreciate you spending all this time and talking to me about knives. This probably wasn't in your game plan today. And you probably didn't come over here to this event XYZ to talk to the knife gal about shiny, sharp objects, especially making an expensive decision like this without your wife.
Sure.
Is that right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Just real quick, before you go, I want you to go talk to your wife. Totally makes sense. It sounds like you guys are a team.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Could I ask you a couple questions though before you leave?
Sure.
Number one, like who does most of the cooking? Was that you that was standing here looking at this stuff all day, or is that her?
It was definitely me. I love to cook.
Okay, you're the main cooker.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Would you say you're pretty good at it?
I'm getting better.
What does your wife think about your cooking?
My
No
wife
judgment.
my wife thinks I should continue to get better.
Oh, okay. Well, she always wants you to strive for perfection, right?
That's right.
Brian, who would you say between you and your spouse does most of the budgeting?
That's kind of split between the two of us. We both do it.
Okay, so it's like 50-50.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now, Brian, you just said you do most of the cooking and you said you're 50-50 on the budget.
She
So
does
you know
all the parenting.
do you know what that tells me?
What's that?
That tells me you make about 75% of the decisions in the kitchen.
Oh.
I'm wrong. You still got to talk to your spouse.
No, you're right. She probably, if she was here, would be about it.
Okay. Well, let me just ask you one last question, Brian, before I let you go. I know you're going to have to go talk to her, and that's fine. I've been doing this for 13 years. I told you that a while back when you first walked up to the booth and we first introduced ourselves. Now, I have about 6,000 past customers.
Wow.
Now, I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you that to impress upon you. Would it be safe to say that a lot of those 6,000 were wives?
I'm willing to bet they were.
Yeah. So just curious,
Mhm.
is the reason you need to go talk to your wife because the package we're looking at is just a little too big, too many pieces? Or do you think maybe she's going to have some holdbacks on the price?
It might be a little of both. That might
Okay.
just be too big a set.
But you know most of the cooking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So since I've worked with about 6,000 wives almost, give or take, would it be okay with you, since she's not here today, if I just showed you one more option that I know wives love?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. Then you drop down, close it.
Boom.
Yeah.
God dang, it's so good. All right, let's kick it over to Calvin Lopez. I love this stuff. This is amazing. All right, Calvin, let's hit the classic. Let's hit our favorite old standby. Man, this is great. I think it's just too much money for us.
Hey, you know what? I totally understand that. Is it okay if I tell you a couple of reasons why it's too much money though?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, so just so you know, good things aren't cheap and cheap things aren't good, and Cutco is the best. So we definitely can't just give our stuff away. But the other thing you're buying whenever you get Cutco is not just high quality American made stuff, it's also guaranteed forever stuff. So anytime you ever need it serviced, sharpened, replaced, fixed, repaired, you name it, you melt a handle, it falls in the dishwasher, whatever, we're going to stand behind that. We're going to fix or replace it for free. And you can see what our past customers have to say about it when they come by and they sign our happy list, whether it's been 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, they still love their stuff. And that's something we always want to take into account. So when you think about this, this is literally going to be something that you're going to have for the rest of your life and you're going to pass down to the kids. So I tell you what, if I could go ahead and maybe take a few bucks off, maybe give you a little bit extra special deal, take a little bit of a hit on my commission, is it something you could see yourself getting today?
I mean, yeah, maybe so.
Okay, so basically what we could do here is I could go ahead and do this for you and knock a little bit off.
I love it. Nails. That's so good. And Calvin is literally that direct with customers at the booth. It's a beautiful thing to see. All right, let's get Maria Stewart, the legend. So went through the script and you know, Maria, I think I know I mentioned we saw y'all at Costco. You know, maybe we'll just wait or we'll just go back to Costco and buy it there. I'm not sure if this was a better deal than that, but
Yeah.
maybe that's what we do.
Yeah, so you could totally buy Cutco from Costco. Is it okay if I just share with you the difference with buying from Costco versus buying like here at the home show?
Yeah, sure.
So so at Costco, I know you really like that family set. So we actually don't sell everything in Costco. So it's like a special program that Cutco does. So we only sell like one color in Costco, and we only sell certain packages and certain items in Costco. So unfortunately, like that family set that you really liked, we don't sell that there. Another thing that we really do here at the home show is provide full service. So like when you buy at Costco, when you buy from the Costco person, that doesn't actually like become your rep or anything. So you can still send your Cutco like to Cutco and get full service and all that. But what's different from buying from here is that we give you full service. So for example, I would be what's called your Cutco girl. So just like you have your pool guy, your plumber and whatnot. I've been selling this stuff for like a decade. So I do full service for you. So I do a couple service events a year, and that way you don't have to send your knives off. You can actually just bring them to me. I do the full servicing for free. We sharpen everything up for you. I always do some special promotions and sales throughout the year as well. So you're always in the know of like what's new, what's coming up. And then as a preferred customer, if you ever want to add to your Cutco collection, you can just always call me, text me, email me, and you'll get the best pricing. So basically we always take care of you. So you could totally, you know, buy some pieces from Costco, but I know you really liked it, that family set. So just curious, do you kind of like the idea of just getting that full service and, you know, having a representative on hand whenever you need something like service or questions?
Yeah, I think I really do like that.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that you or the wife really liked it, the pearl handles.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just curious, if I could just go completely out of my way today and just get you the best deal on that family set that you really liked, would you consider just getting your home show today?
Yeah, let's take a look. Boom! Oh my God, Costco is the best intro ever, especially when you have someone who handles it like that. Come on in, Anthony. That's amazing. So one of the big focuses in TGP over the last year has been business gifts, whether that's CGC, whether that's closing gifts, or just traditional business gift orders. And so one of the really common objections we get with that, I wanted to hit with Mr. Anthony Cayetti. So, man, I really like everything you're showing me, Anthony. I think that's a really cool option. But, you know, we're just so used to personalizing it. Like, man, we really weave that basket by hand we give to them. So I think that basket is a real important thing. So I don't know, it'd be hard to not do those gifts like that.
Yeah, Brian, that makes total sense, by the way. Like, it's actually really awesome that you like to personalize gifts. Because coming from like a gifting expert like myself, what that tells me is that you care more about the client than most other businesses or realtors do. I work with a lot of realtors, and what I've noticed is a lot of them just give very generic like Visa gift cards or wine bottles. And the fact that you're actually taking that extra step to go above and beyond to create something that you know they'll like is really awesome. Now, can I ask you, Brian, have you ever ran into a struggle, especially when it comes to time, on how long it takes to personalize a gift?
Yeah, we definitely have scrambled and had a few last minute gift cards where we just couldn't pull it together.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the thing, is like personalizing gifts is great, but the one downside is it does take a lot of time and energy from you. Also, I've noticed it's really hard sometimes to figure out what people like and what they'll want. Like, I've been with my mom my whole life, and I still struggle during Christmas to figure out a gift that she wants. You know, so what's nice about Cutco, giving it as a gift, do you know what I found, Brian, that every single person does?
What's that?
Is they cook. And that's the thing, is everybody has to cook to eat.
Yeah.
And what I've also noticed is that what's nice is we can very much personalize it as well with something else. It's not like Cutco is the end all be all that you just have to have. You can't give anything else.
Right.
What's nice is you can also partner Cutco gifts with something else. Like one of my best clients, Scott and Cindy Kennedy, that are a realtor in every holiday, they actually use Melaleuca products with Cutco and a basket and bundle it together. So I'm not saying you need to go above and beyond with everything, but what's nice is you're not only personalizing a gift for them with Cutco, but you're getting something that's going to actually add more tax benefit and long-term retention and client appreciation for you for many years to come.
Wow, damn.
So do you think Cutco could be something that we could help you personalize your gifts with?
Yeah, let's look at that price list again.
Awesome.
Damn, Cayetti, that was solid. Bert, holy cow. I spit fire here. So We're so lucky we got Bert Wicks here with us today, and he partners up with us on some of our state fair projects, and we're just blessed to have his positive influence. And you can't have someone this good at cookware and not throw a cookware thing or two at him. So Bert, let me ask you, I like the cookware you mentioned. It seems pretty great, but is it non-stick? I think our stuff at home is non-stick.
Yeah, so basically the idea behind our products, the idea behind our stuff is, again, it has the same benefit of a non-stick pan. It just doesn't have the health risk, right? So like at the end of the day, I'm not sure if you have, again, you said it sounds like you have some non-stick stuff at home.
Yeah.
I would just be a little bit aware of some of the recent studies that have come out on non-stick. I don't know if you've noticed, but what kind of continues to happen is people just keep renaming it, right? Teflon, Anilon, they keep putting a granite coating, whatever they say nowadays. It's just another reason to just say it's eventually going to scratch off. And what most people don't know about most pans is that with non-stick stuff, what happens over time is when you put a non-stick pan onto a heated surface, that coating is actually evaporating into our foods. So what's cool on ours, right, is that it's got that 5 layers of steel, like I mentioned before. And because there's 3 layers of aluminum in the core and it's surrounded by stainless, it does a great job at conducting heat. But the great thing is the trick is just like your oven or just like your grill at home, the only trick to our stuff is you literally, again, just preheat the pan for about 60 to 90 seconds, depending on the size of the pan. And then the great thing is you're not going to get that hot spot. You're not going to get the stuff that sticks and burns. Because the cool thing is with our stuff, as I mentioned earlier, is that you only have to use medium below heat ever. So I would say this really quick on like the whole non-stick objection. You'll either get it 3 different places, right? You'll either get it right at the beginning and people will be like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, or like, hey, rep, A, whatever you are these non-stick, right? So the response that I have to that person that doesn't know anything about it is these have the same benefit of a non-stick pan without the health risk, right? And then usually that's an elevator pitch for them to be like, well, what do you mean, right? And then I'll usually ask the question like, hey, like what kind of pans do you have at home? If you're covering, like if you just start pitching cookware, I always usually use it at the very beginning part of my presentation, where I say one of the greatest things about our stuff is it has the same benefit of a non-stick pan without their health risk. That right there, when you cover it throughout the script, usually will prevent anybody from saying, oh, is your stuff non-stick? Because again, you're just, and which by the way, sometimes you have to just reinforce like, yeah, it has the same benefit, right? And then I use the crap out of videos on my phone. So I have a cookware folder and just show them having an egg sliding out of a pan, and that just makes it real.
Nice. Oh my God. That was fire. That was fire. We're so lucky. We're so blessed in our whole community here. I think particularly for TGP, but I think our whole community that people share so openly, that we can partner, that we can have events like the NET meeting where we can learn best practices. So again, I think when it comes to objections, it's one of the 4 pillars of success in the events team and the events community. And again, you don't have to have the perfect answer to everything, but you do want a confident answer you can offer to reassure customers, cut through some of the noise, and get back to where their needs are and how we can serve them best. So that being said, time-wise, I think we're out. So let's go ahead and turn it back over to Amy. And I think we have some great speaker Q&A coming up.
We are actually out of time for Q&A, but
Perfect.
That's okay because there aren't actually even any questions in there. You guys did such a great job that people just get it. So, and I'm sure too, they've kind of gotten used to the fact that if they have questions, they can also reach out to you individually. Of course, if you do have questions, speaking to you now, the attendees of NET, if you do have questions, you can still post them because even though we're not going to do them live right now, we are still doing our best to get you those answers either now or post event. So if anything pops into your head that you want to ask, go ahead and ask it.